I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. And be sure to use the TCG affiliate player link, as it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Aurelia the War Leader today. I wanted to get another shot in with this deck before the end of the year. Testing out a couple new things. Testing out Backdraft Hellkite is one that I'm excited about, and made a few other little tweaks along the way. This hand's a little awkward because there's no red mana, so I'm going to mulligan that. Tithe and the Plains. Oh, Winter Orb is so good. Winter Orb is so good. But yeah, Tithe and the Plains can find us what we're looking for. We are not playing first, so that should work out well. We do have an Enlightened Tutor. Get ourselves some additional ramp if we need to. Taking a look at what our opponents are playing today, there are no Patreon supporters in this game. My Patreon supporters have seen Aurelia a lot, and that does make it a little bit difficult to play because they know exactly what pieces to shoot. So I thought I would unleash this on the greater MTGO community. So let's see what our opponents got. We've got a Hapatra, Vizier of Poisons. Definitely a bit combo-y with the minus counters, can make a lot of tokens. Pretty scary, it gets going real quick. Thankfully they are after us in the turn order. Here's a Mystic Remora for the Thrasios and Tymna. So continuing on, we do have opponent playing Greven Predator Captain. That is a hard suicide aggro type commander. It gets huge really quickly, does a lot of things with like drawing and discarding with the sack effect, and luckily they'll make their own life total really low, so that is a good thing. Means that we don't have to cover too much distance for what we're trying to do. And then finally we have a Thrasios and Tymna opponent. I don't know what that opponent's up to, but I'm going to treat it like they're playing a CDH deck, so there might be some Winter Orbs afoot. Oh, hey now, we catch a Reforge of Soul off the top. We will not be able to miracle that as we have no mana in play, so no. We'll play this Plains. Do we go Enlightened Tutor first? Maybe we do. Either way, all of this stuff is instant speed. So the Thrasios Tymna opponent is playing Hulk, which means we will probably be using Winter Orb at some point. So this will be a good test. This is a, high power deck versus a CDH deck, so it could be a little rough. Could be a little rough. I'm going to Enlightened Tutor right now, I think. I think this is going to be a situation for Mana Crypt. If it was a little bit safer, I'd go for Soul Ring, but opponent's got the cumulative upkeep trigger on them. They're going to pay. At least that keeps Thrasios out of play for a turn, but they'll probably draw like crazy off of us, which is also not great. Oh, that's a Vampire Tutor. Ugh. We draw a Mana Crypt, play the Mana Crypt. Opponent's going to crack their Wayfarer's Bauble. We're going to play Tithe. Opponent gets to draw again. Ugh. We get Plateau and Sacred Foundry. Play the Plateau. Play Winter Orb. And we'll probably try to get Neheb quickly, since the Winter Orb's in play, that kind of locks everyone out at least a little bit, and we'll try to get the mana, but we also have to just, not lose to Flash Hulk, and we have no responses for that in this moment. So opponent gets to untap only one land because of the Winter Orb. Comes up Basilisk Collar, triggers a Mystic Remora, opponent drawn like crazy. I mean, the one small bit of good news is that they shouldn't be able to pay for the Mystic Remora. Yep, there's a Dark Ritual. So opponent going to try to keep the Mystic Remora around. And they pay for it. Plays a City of Brass. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Mana Crypt flip. We'll go Tails. Lost the flip. There's an Emeria. Play the Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Cast Neheb. Hope this doesn't get countered or shot. We do really need this to stick. Neheb into play. Now we have the dangerous mission of trying to untap with it, and we'll see how that goes. Sylvan Library for opponent. Opponent gets to draw again with the Mystic Remora. Hapatra into the Flash Hulk player. They get a minus counter. Unfortunately, that'll end up on our Neheb. The problem with Flash Hulk is that they can win with 2 mana. And they've already tutored once. If they tutor again, it literally just takes 2 mana to go Flash, get Protean Hulk. And they've also been drawing like crazy. Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's all scary. Our next best bet would be to try and get this Reforge the Soul, I think, because they've tutored once, so we would get rid of one of the things that they tutored, and potentially would force them to get rid of one of their combo pieces. Opponent verifying that the Neheb will not be coming their way, and it will not. They actually minus their own Hapatra, and they do get themselves a Snake. Dockside Extortionist into play for the Greven. Yeah, that's going to help them out a bit. We've got a couple things. They get, looks like 4 or 5 treasures? Is that 4? Looks like 4. Might actually be able to cast something soon. So cumulative upkeep, Mystic Remora finally going down. Opponent drops a land, and every land in that deck matters because they usually run probably, I don't know, like 30 to 32 lands, I would guess. And you don't always hit all of them, and it's a product of everything in that deck is like 1 and 2 mana. So every land they make, they can do so much more. 3 open mana. It's not great. We get to untap one land. It'll be the Plateau. Mana Crypt flip on us. Lost the flip. We draw a Windswept Heath. Yep, we're going to try and attack, see what happens. I'm not super hopeful that this is going to actually get through and that we'll get the mana, but got to try, right? Send in the Neheb. Wow, it got through. We're going to get 4 red mana. Okay. So with that being the case, let's get this Aurelia in. Then get Reforge the Soul. This may get countered. It does not. What do we get from opponent? Oh, there's a Protean Hulk in their graveyard. There's a Body Snatchers. There's an Ad Nauseam. There's a Counterspell. Wow, they let all that go through. So the next thing to do, I think, is get this Remorseful Cleric into play. Play the Remorseful Cleric. And we will sit on that and exile opponent's graveyard as needed. We do get a Rogue's Gloves, Hammer of Nazan, Thran Dynamo, Steel Shaper's Gift, and Mana Vault. Those are all really good things because they're colorless, and we can use the Neheb mana to cast those. Opponent's going to Noxious Revival, a Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. I'm fine with that. That's really not what I'm worried about on the Remorseful Cleric. Also got a Terastodon and Black Sun Zenith out of the hand of the Hapatra. Some nasty stuff for the Greven opponent as well. Phyrexian Purge, Temur Battle Rage, Chandra's Ignition, Combat Celebrant. Opponent's going to try to Noxious Revival a Lab Maniac, and I'm thinking not. So we're going to Remorseful Cleric on the Flash Hulk player. And their graveyard gets exiled. Protean Hulk has been exiled. Body Snatchers has been exiled. Labman has been exiled. That is a lot of win conditions from that deck. Will we see them scoop? I don't know what's left in that deck. I guess they could just try to like make infinite mana in value. Opponent's going to play a Nature's Lore, sure. Nature's Lore, epically terrible when there's a Winter Orb in play. Opponent going to continue to send the Hapatra into the Flash Hulk player, yep. Opponent going to minus the Dockside Extortionist, sure. Gets themselves another Snake. Greven may actually be able to cast their commander right here. Basilisk Collar is in play for them, and that actually seems like a really good one. You gain all that life back as you lose it. Seems like a good place to be. Opponent's going to Skull Clamp their Dockside Extortionist. Yeah, get themselves some card draw. Tells me that the wheel probably wasn't very kind to them. Lightning Skelemental deals combat damage to a player. That player discards 2 cards. At the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Lightning Skelemental. I would prefer that wasn't us. Opponent's going to reanimate our Elish Norn? Gross. So we're going to need to find Homeward Path. Opponent's going to send that our way. Can't say I love that. We have to discard 2 cards? Ugh. So Swiftblade Vindicator. And what will the other one be? Probably Hammer of Nazan, I guess. I mean, comes a Thran Dynamo for opponent. It's relatively safe, at least until next turn. And a Chromatic Lantern. Trying to get all the mana rocks going. We get to untap 1 land. We'll go for the Plateau. Mana Crypt will trigger. We draw Swiftfoot Boots. I think we're 1 short of going Steel Shaper's Gift into Feast and Famine. Yep, we are in fact 1 short of that. It's not great. Is there anything else that we could do? Oh, might be able to flip a Dowsing Dagger. So if we go Steel Shaper's Gift for that, that'll make 4 mana. Yeah, okay, we can flip a Dowsing Dagger, and I think that'll be... since we can't get the Feast and Famine right now, I think that'll be good enough. So Steel Shaper's Gift. Get Dowsing Dagger. Play Mana Vault. Use the Mana Vault. Cast Dowsing Dagger. Give the tokens to the Hapatra. They will go away because of the Elish Norn. Put Dowsing Dagger on the Neheb. Swing into the Flash Hulk player. Dowsing Dagger will transform. We get ourselves a Lost Veil. We get 4 red mana. Oh, that is so helpful. That is going to be perfect to get this stuff into play. So there's the 4 red mana. Get Thran Dynamo. Use the Dynamo. We're going to go for the boots right here because we need to keep this Neheb alive. It's going to be the most important thing. Equip the Neheb. And importantly, we're keeping the Lost Veil untapped. We could potentially cast Aurelia next turn. So we'll have the colored mana, and we have a bunch of mana rocks in play, assuming that everything holds up. And given what's going on right now with the Winter Orb, as long as the Winter Orb sticks, we'll probably get hit by the Elish Norn. I don't think we'll take too much else than that. Got to worry about like what kind of interaction Tymna Thrasios have, but at some point they probably just need to like start casting their commanders and trying to get some sort of value going. If we catch a land off the top, we'll have exactly enough to go Aurelia and Rogue's Gloves. If we don't, we'll be 1 short. Yep, opponent's going to put the Basilisk Collar on the Elishnorn and probably send it our way. And this is why Winter Orb is hilarious, because most people don't run enough artifact and enchantment removal, and people get crushed by it, and it's like a simple problem of if you had artifact removal, it's fine. Like, if you have instant speed artifact removal, it'll do nothing to you as long as you leave mana up for it. So it's a card that I've really taken a liking to. If you're playing in a fast combo meta like something like this, where you got Flash Hulks and things running around, dropping a Winter Orb can solve so many problems. Here comes the Thrasios. Yep. Opponent's out of colored mana, so I feel pretty good about that. It is super annoying that Thrasios has 3 toughness and does not die to Elishnorn. For all the things that Thrasios does, it probably could have at least had 2 toughness. We get to untap 1 land, go for the Plateau. Mana Crypt and Mana Vault will trigger. Not going to pay for the Mana Vault. Hope we win the Mana Crypt flip. Life is getting a little bit low. Let's go Tails. 1 the flip. Come on, land. It's a land. All right. Ooh, I think I'm feeling good about this. We lose a life to the Mana Vault. Play the Mountain. Cast Aurelia. Ooh, I almost miscalculated. I almost messed up the colored portion of Aurelia last turn when I was doing the calculations for how much mana we were going to need. But since we caught the land, I think we're okay now. Cast Aurelia. Cast Rogue's Gloves. Equip Rogue's Gloves. Rogue's Gloves 1 I'm also trying out. There's a lot of different cards that go into that slot now with some of the impulsive card draw. Where to attack? Probably got to keep working on the Thrasios player. Yeah, let's just get them out of the game. Some point we'll hopefully run into Homeward Path. Rogue's Gloves triggers, we get to draw a card. It's a Plains. Not super helpful. Rogue's Gloves will trigger again. And it's a comeuppance. We get 6 red mana. Not that much to do with it. Do we protect Aurelia? Ooh, I think we do. The card draw on Aurelia, I think, is the most important thing now. And we'll pass like that. Ooh, that's a Cabal Coffers for opponent, and they have Urborg in play, so they'll be able to get some mana now. Torment of Hellfire is a card we need to watch out for. Here comes a Skin Render. Can put it on the Elishnorn. Yep, need to get that Elishnorn out of here. So it goes down to a 1/4. An opponent casts a Whisper Silk Cloak. That could be annoying with Hapatra, actually. Also, again, our life total's starting to bleed a little bit, so we're going to need to get this Comeuppance mana up and ready to go for next turn. Opponent gets a Cabal Pit. Phyrexian Reclamation for opponent. What do they have in the graveyard? They have the Lightning Skelemental. It's not great. Combat Celebrant, also pretty good. Opponent going to swing into us with a 1/4 Elishnorn. Not too bad. We'll go ahead and take that. That will keep us alive. Or, you know, more so than if it were 4 power. Not going to block because of the Death Touch. Not a lot of life gain in this deck. That might be one of the shortcomings of it. Once your life gets down there, I don't think there's too many ways to get it back. And that might be a reason for something like a True Conviction, because True Conviction is amazing, and that life gain can keep you alive, which is really important. Brings it back to our turn. We get to untap 1 land. I think we'll go for the Lost Veil. Mana Crypt and Mana Vault will trigger. Almost thinking about untapping the Mana Vault. We're gonna draw a lot of cards this turn, though. Assuming everything holds up. Let's go heads. 1 the flip, nice. Staying where we are. Well, we'll lose 1 to the Mana Vault. We draw a Plains, not what I was looking for. I'm going to attack like this. I'm just going to keep hitting Flash Hulk on the ground. We have Swiftfoot Boots on the Aurelia. If I didn't, I'd probably send the Aurelia into the Greven opponent. We do need a big draw. Basically anything. A creature, removal spell, anything will be good. Not a terrible time for our backdraft Hellkite. Could get a lot of work done with that. At least for next turn anyway. Rogue's Gloves will trigger. Opponent goes down to 14. We get Teferi's Protection. That is a good one. So now we've got all of our protection spells, which makes me happy. And a piece of gas right here would be good. Rogue's Gloves will trigger. Opponent down to 11. Silverblade Paladin is a card. Yeah. We get 6 red mana. So let's play a Plains. Let us get... Yeah, I'm going to get the Silverblade Paladin right here. Oh, it just dies to Elishnorn. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that. Whoops! That was a waste of a bunch of mana. Luckily, we've still got Comeuppance and Teferi's Protection. Sylvan Library for the Hapatra. Trigger. See. They're still at 38. They have been left alone. Opponent's going to play a Blood Artist. Okay. Blood Artist immediately dies to Elishnorn. Making the same mistake that we did. Whoops. Crumbling to Ashes. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy target creature with a minus counter on it. Oh. Oh. Well, we want to keep the minus counters off of Neheb if possible. Elishnorn's already got one, and that is definitely a candidate to be blown up. Whisper Silk Cloak on the Skin Render. Can't be blocked. Opponent's going to return their Dockside Extortionist. That is a great card to get back. They will get a ton of mana off of us. And opponent's going to send the Elvish Norn at us. Yup. Still no blocks. Ooh, opponent's going to naturalize the Winter Orb. All right, they're going to get some mana. Do I care about that? I think it'll be fine. Maybe not. I don't know. We have largely locked out Greven because they haven't had mana, and I have a feeling that they have a bunch of haymakers in that deck, which could all be very, very scary. But Winter Orb lasted till turn 8. Would we cast it on turn 2 or something like that? That is a long time to not see any artifact removal. Gotta wonder if they have a Rift. See if we exiled a Rift at all anywhere. We did not exile a Rift. So, you know, if they pass with all their mana up, Rift. Opponents can activate their Thrasios. They reveal, ooh, a Time Twister. Taps a City of Brass. I guess Time Twister happens? Opponent has 2 mana. I don't think that's worth using the Teferi's protection, because it exiles itself, so we don't get it back. We could come up ins, though. That's a Fire and Ice. That is an Hour Revelation. Cavalier of Dawn is a card. We are in a fantastic position right now. Mana Vault for opponent. Okay. Opponents can activate Thrasios. Everyone's tapped out right now. Oh, Grand Abolisher. Ooh, that's a scary card. Yeah, okay. We have some things to do. We could sort of Fire and Ice and shoot the Elesh Norn, which is probably what I'm going to do. Mana Crypt Flip and Mana Vault on us. Not going to pay. Would like to win this flip. Tails. Lost the flip. Ouch. Probably going to stay away from that Ancient Tomb. I guess there's an Urborg in play. Ooh, the Silverblade Paladin is back. We still can't cast it because of the Elesh Norn. We could Cavalier of Dawn. We lose one more. We go down to 12. We could Cavalier of Dawn to shoot the Elesh Norn. If we do that, then do we have enough? We should have enough to put the sword on Thrasios. That'll 6 power. That means we have easy lethal on the Flash Hulk player. And then after that, we'll most certainly want to get to work on the other 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, potentially 15 mana to work with before Neheb triggers. So it'll take us 10 to get take us 13 to get the Silverblade Paladin. That's a lot of Fire and Ice triggers, which seems really good. I think that's what we're doing. Okay. Cavalier of Dawn, shoot Elesh Norn, Silverblade Paladin, Soul Bond with Aurelia, Fire and Ice. I guess we're using the Ancient Tomb. Trying to leave up colored mana. Go to combat. Aurelia into the Greven. Neheb into the Thrasios. And as long as this sticks, which it should, we're going to see a 4-hit with the sword, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, opponent just scoops. All right. So Flash Hulk down. Nice. Sword of Fire and Ice will trigger, let's see, 4 triggers would be 8 damage. Think we're just going to go to the face right here. Aurelia is going to be good for what, 20? Draw from the Rogue's Gloves, draw from the Fire and Ice. Oh my god, we're going to draw so many cards. There's a Reforge the Soul. Rogue's Gloves, Fire and Ice trigger again. Opponent's down to 23. That's an Ugin. Ugin's really good. Opponent's got 21 left. Better make sure. May have to bolt them in the face with Ugin. Rogue's Gloves and Fire and Ice will trigger. We draw a Mask of Memory. All the card draw. Draw a Worn Power Stone. Oh, opponent's got 5 left. Okay, yeah, we got to hit them with the Fire and Ice, and then we'll have to use the Ugin on them. There's a Comeuppance. That keeps us safe from a bunch of stuff. And there's a Rugged Prairie. We get 32 red mana. Oh my. Cast Ugin. Shoot opponent in the face. They go down. Worn Power Stone. Do we overcommit and go for the Mask of Memory? Why not? Opponent would need like a Creeping Corrosion. There's not too many green-black cards that destroy like all artifacts. I think we just stay put with everything else. Opponent's got 7 cards. They do have a lot of mana. We need to discard at our end step here. We'll get rid of the mountains. Did I play a land this turn? I may have forgotten to play a land. Ameria count is still on 4. We have an Elesh Norn in the graveyard, which is why that forgetting to play a land is relevant. If we find a Sword of the Animus, that can put us to 7, but that also assumes that opponent doesn't just like lose here. They do need to have some stuff. They have a lot of mana. We didn't have a way to interact with Cabal Coffers at all, which is probably the thing that could make us lose. A big Torment of Hellfire could be an issue. Here comes a Soul Ring. Yep, here comes a Demonic Tutor. Torment. And that's the thing that I've been finding out too. Life gain is really good against Torment of Hailfire. Like with the Angels deck, if I get Lyra going and, you know, you get up around 60, 70 life, they probably can't Torment for enough to make it matter to you. turns into a, okay, I'll just pay 30 life, not lose any of my stuff. You know what? Exsanguinate is a problem, but most people don't run it as much anymore with the printing of Torment of Hellfire. I was hoping to catch a Sunforger and all that, or at least our Teferi's protection, and we did not. We did not. Opponent did take a while to tutor, which means hopefully they don't have, like, the perfect answer. Here comes Hapatra. Okay. Opponent's going to strip mine our Sacred Foundry. We'll float a red mana. Black Sun X6. That's going to get rid of everything on the board. I think that's okay, though. Strangely, opponent cast their Hapatra. Oh, right, because they get a bunch of snakes. Right. So we'll probably minus the Ugin on our turn. Still in good shape. Man, I almost cut this Ugin right before we went to the game. I think I cut all his dust instead to make room for something else, so glad I didn't cut this Ugin, because Ugin's so good. Mana Crypt Flip and Mana Vault. Whew. Almost tempted to pay for the Mana Vault, but we're not going to do that. Nope. Would like to win the Mana Crypt Flip. Tails lost the flip. Ooh, we're going to be down to 6. Down to 7. There's a Path to Exile. So make sure we don't have any color permanents. We do not. This is 2 mana. That's 2 mana. Minus Ugin for X2. Cleaning out a bunch of crap right there. Part of me almost thinks like Reforge the Soul, but I do like the fact that we have a lot of lands. Yeah, let's recast Aurelia. That's what's going to bring us home here. Aurelia's back. Get Fire and Ice. We should really leave up the comeuppance. We need that to leave up comeuppance. So Mask of Memory. Swiftfoot Boots just for protection. And we'll roll without the Rogue's Gloves right here. Swing in with Aurelia. Opponent takes a hit. Fire and Ice to their face. Mask of Memory will trigger. We draw a Solemn Simulacrum and a Plains. Discard the Temple. Fire and Ice will trigger. We draw Wear Tear. That's a real card. Same thing again. Come on, Teferi's protection. Sword of Fire and Ice to the face. Mask of Memory. Windswept Heath and a Plains. Discard a Plains. Fire and Ice. Finding all of the lands. There's a Helm of the Host. Yeah, well, could have used that earlier. Play a Plains. Plains count now 4. We did lose one. And that leaves us enough to go Path and Comeuppance. So we'll pass like that. Discard the Rugged Prairie. Discard... Wow, we're at 10 cards in hand. That's a lot. That's a lot. Reforge the Soul doesn't seem necessary. Think we're going to be okay without the Abunis. Windswept Heath gets Mistveil Plains, but I think we'll be okay without that right here. Opponent gets one crack at it. Maybe this deck just needs a Blackblade Reforged. Blackblade Reforged would close this game out very quickly. Carnifax Demon. Interesting. Oh, Blowfly Infestation. That's a combo piece. Carnifax Demon enters the battlefield with 2 counters on it. Remove a -1 counter. Put a -1 counter on each other creature. That does not target. Whenever a creature dies, if it had a minus counter on it, put a minus counter on target creature. Ooh, yeah. These are things. Oh, opponent's gonna Green Sun X4? I assume whatever they're getting means that I want to Path to Exile this Carnifax Demon. And they're gonna minus with the Carnifax Demon, minus again with the Carnifax Demon. As long as Aurelia's power is actually irrelevant, as long as we have the Helm of the Host. Ah, it's a Wickerbur Elder. They can remove some artifacts and enchantments with it, and let's see what they go for. Gonna go for our Swiftfoot Boots. More importantly, they're tapped out, so we can just slam Helm of the Host right here. Seems like a good time to untap the Mana Vault. Check on our mana. Yeah, we've got plenty of mana to untap the Mana Vault. Mana Crypt Flip on us, getting down there. Tails, I lost the flip, going to 3. Swiftblade Vindicator, play this Plains. Play Helm of the Host. Equip Helm of the Host. Say GG. Go to combat. Get a second Aurelia. Swing with both. They trigger twice. Oh, wow. That's so good. Sword and Mask will trigger. Prophetic Flame Speaker, you say? I think we'll be okay. Get rid of the Great Furnace. Aggravated Assault. That's a good card. Go to combat. Helm triggers. And down to 0 they go. We just took down a Flash Hulk deck with Aurelia the War Leader. I feel so incredibly good right now. Not saying this is the deck you want to bring if you're going into a Flash Hulk matchup. You know, if you're playing 10 games, winning 2 or 3 of them might be a pretty good outcome. But we were able to defy the odds in this one. Aurelia taking down Flash Hulk and just dominating the table. Winter Orb, so good. Against people that are trying to be proactive and don't run enough removal, Winter Orb can crush them. Golos is the epitome of that style of deck. Usually not too much removal in a Golos deck. You slam a Winter Orb on them before they activate Golos, and they're just going to be sitting there doing nothing for a long time. And, you know, against decks like Flash Hulk, where everything's like 1 and 2 mana, it's not as effective. It's still good, and it keeps them from doing as many things as they would otherwise. But when everything costs 1 mana, they can definitely play around Winter Orb much better than, like, take a look at that Greven deck. That Greven deck did a lot of nothing for a long time because a lot of big, powerful stuff in that deck at 5 mana. And, I mean, they never cast their commander. They never once got their commander into play. And that's what Winter Orb will do. And it really comes down to people need to have artifact removal, especially if you're playing in a high power setting. Like, you can't not have removal against other high power decks, because if someone gets the Mana Crypt, they can always just be faster than you. Like, no matter how fast your deck is, due to the variance of commander, someone can just always be faster than you. So anyway, I feel fantastic after taking down Flash Hulk, and I've been wanting to play Aurelia again for a little while. I haven't played it recently. I don't have this deck built in paper right now. This deck has become Sir Gwyn at the moment. If I get a little spare money, I'd really like to put this deck back together because it's just so much fun. Oh, I love this deck. After the board wipe came down and I'm like, okay, recast our commander, suit everything back up. It just feels so, so good. One thing I noticed I'm missing, should add a Blackblade Reforged to this deck. That would have helped us close the game out a lot quicker at the end right there. Heck, maybe even earlier in the game where, instead of hitting for 1 with Aurelia, we're probably hitting for like 6 a shot. So yeah, definitely need to find some room for Blackblade Reforged. There's just so many things you want in this deck, and no matter what you're doing, you're always going to be cutting something good. Like, there is not a bad card in this deck, other than maybe this Backdraft Hellkite, which, still testing it out. But if we drew that thing at certain points in the game, it would have actually done a lot. We would have been able to get all those spells back, so I think it's going to be really good in this deck. Being able to use your spells twice seems really powerful. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.